Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the MartiniWorks Podcast. I'm Alex.
Hi.
That was Gels, and the first hi was Dakota.
That's me.
If you guys are looking for car parts, mod your car over at MartiniWorks.com. So happy to be back, and we hope you guys and gals are loving your fall allergies and going back to school.
I'm wearing a hoodie. That's scary.
It was
I'm
67
not, I'm
degrees.
cold. And that never happens.
I've because I'm usually here first in the morning at the shop, and I always have to look at the weather because like yesterday it was 77. I'm like, okay, I got to time how long the garage door can stay open. I was like 11 o'clock because once it hits 12, it's like 75, starts to get a little muggy, and then all of a sudden everything is trapped inside these four walls. But today's been gorgeous. It's perfect.
Yeah, I've been riding the bike to work recently, and 50 degrees on a motorcycle is like cold. That's like legit cold. Like you got to bundle up if it's 50 degrees out.
Until springtime. Then 50 degrees
shorts,
feels
not shorts, but
feels incredible.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know how those temperatures feel two completely different ways 6 months apart, but they do. They absolutely do.
Speaking of nice weather, you were at Monterey Car Week.
Yeah. Monterey, California, Monterey Car Week. Yes.
And it's always 75 and sunny there.
In Monterey, California.
Every day, every single day.
That state, everything about it in terms of like being an automotive enthusiast is terrible and does not want you there. But man, is it a gorgeous state. It is so pretty.
Perfect.
Everything about you start to realize why people move there and spend their atrocious amounts of money.
Millions of people.
Literally. Yeah, we got to spend it in Monterey, which was gorgeous, super cool little town, and then just all of like the little nooks and crannies of it. It felt very like European.
So what the heck is it?
Yeah, explain what it is.
Is it a car show?
I've never been.
I didn't. A bunch of car shows.
I didn't even know about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, I mean,
I've only ever heard of this year, and
Oh.
it's like, I know you were going, but then I don't know if it was because you were posting about it and I was like engaging with your stuff. I feel like I got hit with every single reel, carousel, everything that was posted about Monterey Car Week this year, and I've never been hit with that stuff before.
Yeah, so Monterey Car Week is something that's been going on for not 75 years, but I think 69 years. Nice. So it started in 1950. Essentially, a group of racers wanted to race, and so they started racing on the public roads in the Monterey area. It was sanctioned. Everything went well. And in 1955 or 1956, a Ferrari hit a tree.
Oh.
That person... And so they said, maybe no more racing.
Okay.
And so they're like, well, we still want to get together. And they're like, all right, great. We'll just come back and look at some cars and do some stuff. And so essentially the Monterey Car Week started to form in the late 50s. And the Pebble Beach Concours de Elegance, don't tell me how many times I said that wrong in front of people that had
Oh, boy.
posh accents.
You're from Wisconsin. It's fine.
Yeah, so that started essentially way back then, and it was a way to kind of show historical culture to the cars that have been built up until that point, and then every year it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. So the week started with pretty much just the race or version of racing, and then the concourse or the concours.
So do they still do a race?
So they don't, but
No,
they
the Ferrari.
Tree, right?
But they did. That is what fun story. Because of that crash in Pebble Beach back in 1956 or 55, that crash, while it's in Monterey, is what started the actual construction of Laguna Seca.
No kidding. Okay.
Oh, whoa.
So do they do stuff there during the week then? Too,
Yes. So now they do. I mean, it's grown a pretty good amount almost every single year outside of what happened in 2020. But this past year and for the last few years, I want to say maybe even longer, Laguna might yell at me, but Laguna Seca holds a motorsports reunion of sorts where they bring out a whole bunch of vintage race cars from different eras, different decades of racing, and they race them. And so Laguna Seca is very much a part of the whole week as anything like the Quail, but there are, I think, over 29 different automotive events that happened during the week of Monterey Car.
So it's a bunch of separate events.
Yeah, bunch of different stuff. So everything like there's There's even a concourse called Lemons Concourse de Elegance. So instead of it being like really nice, perfect cars, it's all lemons, like weird cars that run in like the Lemons
cool.
24 hours.
Was kind of related to that. Yeah,
I saw the car from Christmas Vacation that was fully restoed.
Sick.
A wagon?
And like the music was playing out like the back, and it was awesome because I gave the guy a thumbs up, and he's like, what did he say? Oh, he's like, shitter's full, and then just kept driving, and I'm like, this is awesome.
Crazy.
So yeah, there's stuff like that, Porsche and BMW, all these companies now, they have their own, thing now because it's gotten to a size where they want to host their own little like private invitational stuff.
Is there like an actual like main event though? Because like here, like Automotion, for instance, here, it at a time
Kinda
grew
same
into
thing,
like a multiple event weekend.
Yeah.
But there was always like still the Automotion car show, which was like the original one. Is there like an actual original one?
Yeah, so there's like an official kind of series of events.
Sure.
And they would always recommend, those ones, I guess. But they have, I would say the big three would be the Friday is the Quail.
Mm-hmm.
And the Quail is a motorsports meet, and it's held at the Quail.
And a bird.
And it's also a bird. It's also a bird. What?
What's the Quail?
The Quail is a motoring meet.
Motoring meet?
Yeah,
that sounds
that's
like
what
a
they call
boat
it.
event.
Yeah, that's what they call it. It's a very nice, very expensive car show.
Okay.
I think a ticket to get in was anywhere between $1,500 and $2,800.
Jesus Christ,
Are
just
you
to go?
shitting me?
And they only give you out $3,000. And it's a lottery system.
Everything in California is just insane.
That's insane.
I want to know what the vibes are like compared to like Gatlinburg, slammed enough, Sevierville, versus the Quail.
the bird event.
I feel like I have an idea, but
bird
I
show.
gotta know. I mean, once you were there, maybe it changes. Maybe everyone loosens up a little bit, or is it like pinkies out?
There's definitely some pinky out energy.
Yeah.
But the Quail was really cool because if you could find the right, it's just like a car show. It's like if you find the right kind of person there, you're just going to have an absolute bang on time, And so there were some people that were there that were just the most incredible people I've ever talked to. Like they own an F50, but they've owned an F50 since it came out, and they just had kind of a stroke of luck with it. They drive it everywhere. It's got 27,000 miles. They love it, and they're there to have a good time. Like they're there because their buddy with the multiple Ferrari car collection invited them out, and it was nothing more than that. They're just sitting there having a good time, just drinking and vibing.
Okay, so $1,500 a ticket.
Yeah,
To get in, just to get in, right?
Mm-hmm.
How the hell do you get like? What requirements do you have to meet to get like your car in this event?
How
Yes.
much
Like
that
what is that?
So that's crazy because the Quail is orchestrated by a team, but one of the guys that really kind of takes the lead on it is a guy. His name is Gordon McCall, and he's a motorsport enthusiast and also a motorcycle collector. He's got a really cool collection. He's also very nice, very, very, very educated in historical vehicles.
Sure.
But then he's just got a really good connection of people all across different motorsport types. And if he doesn't, somebody that he knows does. So like this year, his big thing was he had obviously the standard, vehicle manufacturers that all came out to release, funky cars.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got in touch with Laguna Seca, who was running a unique event for the IROC series, which is the International Racing of Champions, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked them if they wanted to come to the Quail to display their cars. And they're like, well, we can't because we have the cars at Laguna Seca and we need to, we've got racing and we've got our whole display over there. And then Gordon was like, well, we'll do a full police escort. You guys can drive the cars from the racetrack with a police escort, come to the Quail during lunchtime, and then show off the cars until you need to take them back. And they're like, bet. So Jeff Gordon and all these famous NASCAR drivers that are over at Laguna Seca hop in these vintage IROC cars, drive these loud as hell NASCARs essentially,
With a police escort.
with a police
That's crazy.
escort into the Quail. And it was so cool because the Quail is, they're wearing the suits. They got the summer suits on. They're drinking the champagne and the wine, and they got all the free stuff. And then here come these loud as hell, just monstrosities of domestic vehicle production driving through the grass, barely able to keep traction. And I thought that was really cool.
That is.
So did you meet Jeff Gordon?
I did not meet Jeff Gordon.
Oh. I always liked the Jeff Gordon livery, what was it, Outpoint or whatever?
Yeah.
DuPont.
Sorry, thank you.
You're welcome.
I knew what you meant. But those were really cool. Yeah, so that was really fun. The Quail is it is expensive. I think people would say like, oh, I'd never spend $1,600 at an event like that. But at the same time, I think the kind of person that's going to that might not necessarily just be a car enthusiast. They're more car collectors. Like a lot of the people there are like car connoisseurs.
So,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. So it kind of sounds like it's an invite only thing then for like to have your car in. Kind of going back to that question.
Yeah, I think those guys, like Gordon and the team, it's invite, but it's also you can obviously apply your car, and some do get accepted, but they usually have like themes. You know?
So
like,
was this year? It was like something with the F50, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it was like a lot of the Ferrari tribute. They also did like a pre and post war category of cars.
That's cool.
They did an F1 livery trophy, so they had some F1 cars there from different notable things. Like they had the Marlboro Ferrari, which was pretty iconic. It was in the controversial race with Michael Schumacher, I believe it was. Mm-hmm. I think. Yeah. I'm just trying to remember it all. But they do that, and then the trophies are cool. Like they're obviously, fancy and
I was gonna say, what
funky.
kind of trophies get handed out at this kind of event?
Well, the winner got a Rolex, of course.
Okay. So
and a really nice trophy.
Covered half his entry.
It went to an F50 GT1.
Okay.
That had to be pushed onto the top.
Why did it have to be pushed?
Because it couldn't.
Start. Oh.
Well, it was. I think it was a little bit of that, to be honest. But I also think it was the clearance. They were really concerned that the clearance of the front of the car wasn't going to make it onto the ramp, and they didn't want to start the car because the car was too jittery to actually get onto the ramp. So then they just all pushed
Couldn't
it.
do it like
that
smoothly.
makes sense.
Yeah. But one of the coolest cars I will say that was there that made me very happy. There's two of them. Number one, there was a red Toyota 2000 GT.
That's sick.
The first time I'd ever seen one in real life. I'd
That's-
never
the red
seen a
one is
2000
crazy.
GT in real life, and it was awesome.
Yeah, now that you say that, I realize
feel
I've
like-
never seen one either.
No, they're super rare, super expensive.
Yeah, that car is more gorgeous in person than any photo ever. And it was so cool to see because like you could see how Yamaha had like the wood grain instrument cluster, and you could see that they had these side axis panels for, different sort of stuff for like the oil and things like that. That was a really cool car to see. And then actually the second car I really found interesting was Larry Chen had his R34
That's cool.
in the Quail
Oh.
hiding in the back. It was really neat.
That's super dope.
is
Yeah,
dope.
I ran into him 3 separate times, took 3 separate selfies, and every time I ran into him, I never actually saw him walk into the place. He just spawned in.
He does that.
Wait. Was
He's
he
good at that.
Was he dressed up or was he still
No.
in his photographer
Larry Chen was still in Larry
outfit?
Chen clothing.
I've never seen him look any different.
I loved it so much.
Got like 4 cameras hanging off.
Yeah, I was looking at the Lexus, like the new Lexus prototype that they unveiled, the GT3 version that they're calling an LFA successor, which I don't think it is. But I was like looking at the car, and I shit you not, just walked out behind it, and I'm like, where did he come from? There is no door back there. There was no
stairs.
one
He came
back
from
there,
the stairs.
and then all you just see is him. So it was really good to see him. He's awesome. His car looks fantastic. Complete resto mod, pretty much from the ground up. I know they tore the whole thing apart.
Oh my God.
Put it back together, and it had some really like neat little small features. Like usually the GTRs have that like protruding fender grill off the back, so it kind of has like by the door it has this like little triangle cutout almost, and his didn't have that. So at first it kind of looked like they were GTT front fenders, but they weren't. He has an R34 GTR, but it was really cool to see in person, and I know he's really proud.
What I learned about R34 GTRs the other day that surprised me, we did a post about it on MartiniWorks, but I didn't know R34 GTRs had a first gear lockout.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like reverse lockout, they have that for first gear too, so you don't money shift into first gear.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah, I was looking up.
Yeah.
I like that.
I was looking up weird like facts and quirks about the R34, and one of them was there's a reverse.
I
or a
honestly
first gear lockout.
would not mind that in more cars, to be honest.
I don't think I've ever in my life money shifted into first gear ever. So I'm whatever about it, but
Maybe
Yeah.
it's because it's right-hand drive, but multiple times I've put it in first. I've caught it.
the
I've
GTT.
caught it. Yeah.
You
Oh, yeah.
money shift the GTT multiple times.
Please don't money shift the GTT.
All right, Gels is
No,
canceled.
Yeah,
party.
canceled from the. There was a lot of people like when people started getting in their cars and leaving. You could also tell it was always so. If you want to people watch, it's a very expensive trip, but people watching at the Quail is just as much fun.
Oh, I bet.
Because there are very much two groups of people. There are the people that are like gloves on, shoes off, new shoes on, ass in first, checking everything, get in the car very carefully, not adjusting or moving. Nothing goes in the driver's seat, passenger seat. Very carefully turn on the car. I saw groups of people where they actually brought mechanics out to like turn the car on and off.
They didn't know how to
because
turn their own damn car on.
because the cars were so old, like they had special processes and they needed to do it a certain way, and otherwise the car wouldn't start. Like there was this old Ferrari, I have no idea what it was, but like the mechanic was working on the engine to get it to start, then started it, then turned it back off, then gave the key to the owner, then the owner got in, then turned the car on, and then he left. And then I saw the complete opposite. I saw a guy in it was an Enzo, a gray Enzo, and the show was over, and he's like, hell yeah, let's go get a beer. And literally hops in the car. He's got like what looked like fancy looking tennis shoes and like a long t-shirt. Turns the car on, fucking puts the thing in reverse, puts the thing out, and you could see the staff were like, wait, we want to help you get out. And he's like, no, I got it. He was just going to go up this curve. And no, wait. And so they tried to like help him out. He's like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. He's like, you might hit your bumper. I don't care, whatever. And
If I ever make it to the Quail, somehow I sneak my fat ass in there, I'm going to go around. I'm going to be like, oh, crap, I forgot my wallet in my Pagani. Can you spot me $2,000? And then I'll just go around asking people that, and I'll leave rich. Because $2,000's nothing to these people.
Me too.
that's a
I forgot. I need $2,000 for a beer. Can you spot me? And they'd be like, oh, yes, young chap.
it was pretty intense. I think obviously the money element is a lot, but
So-
it was cool.
Was mostly everything like stock then? Was there anything modified? Well, you said Larry's car was there, so that's pretty. It's got like
Larry's
modification.
car had a. I'll tell you what, there was I think it was either 11 or an A85 that was there.
Yeah.
It was a drift car.
Yeah.
I don't know how it got in.
That's sick.
It was there.
I like
that was
that.
sick. There weren't much for aftermarket mods. There was
Okay.
a bunch of cars that were modified, but
Yeah,
they were
I was gonna say,
modified
like-
versions of factory cars.
Okay, I was gonna say like were the Ferraris on like different wheels, or did they have any like carbon or anything on it, or was it
Not really.
They were just
A lot of it
pristine
was
stock.
just really clean stock
Gotcha.
stock cars. I would say there was a 400R that was on the
That's cool.
outside that was slammed and
Yeah.
it looked really cool.
On the
and-
outside. Goddamn,
well, I mean, it was on the inside but outside. Like
Yeah.
it was on the entry.
he was in, but
Innie or an Audi?
Yeah. That was pretty intense.
that was a Nissan.
Was there anything that you didn't expect about the event? You went in thinking one thing, and it was different once you got there?
Oh gosh. I think I expected people to be more difficult to talk to.
Sure. Yeah, that's what I would think, too.
Yeah.
I think obviously there's an element of like me carrying around a camera, which might, either detract people from wanting to talk to me or whatnot. But anytime I could find an owner when I spoke to them, they were they have a lot of pride in their car, so I think
They
people
wanna
mistake
talk
the
about it,
pride
yeah.
as like arrogance because they have money and it's really easy to connect that. And some people are like that, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I think when people start their car in front of a group of people, regardless on if the car is worth $10,000 or $2 million, they have the exact same smile. The exact same like shit-eating grin where
Yeah.
it's like people are looking at me, they hear my car, they're looking at my car is cool. And it's like
Yeah,
that's
they're-
the same exact thing that happened at the Quail. Every time somebody turned their car on, I could tell they were so excited for other people to see it. Just like when you go to a Slam Enough show and it's like you pull in and you have your car and you do it a little rev and everybody's looking at you downtown and you got that like that. Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm that. It's the same exact thing.
Right.
So, wait, did they do burnouts?
No. So that's
anyone leave
probably
rowdy?
that's
Any
probably
gas station meets afterwards?
that's 100% probably going to be the second segment, because I think a lot of people talked about how Monterey Car Week is like overrated or it's going downhill. Yet everything I saw was all stuff happening outside of the events. It was all stuff happening on the tiny little 2-lane roads going in and out of that city, or at a gas station that had 100 cars that's meant to fill 5, and that's a whole different side of the Monterey Car Week.
Sure.
So, with that being said, we're going to take a small break, but not for talking about our partners, MartiniWorks Podcast, giving our hats off to Continental Tire. If you guys and gals are looking for tires, especially as you go into the fall or winter, now's the time to start looking at those things. Continental has the Viking Contact 7 and 8. 8?
I got to get my hands on those bad boys.
For real.
Yeah, we actually saw them before they launched last year.
Yeah, we've been
Don't
keeping
tell
a
people
dirty
that.
little secret.
That's a secret. Don't tell everyone.
But super excited for that. If you guys and gals are looking to get your tires packaged with wheels, especially coming up into September and October, we do that. We can ship them right to your door, ready to rock and roll. But we always recommend Continental Tire. They're a bang-on brand. They do a great job, have a great warranty, grip up super well. They're a very predictable tire on the track or off the track. We've got tons of laps on them, tons of experience on them. And there's a lot of people out there that run them too, that absolutely love the experience that they give you. So if you're looking for a set of tires, Continental does an absolute great job. If you're looking to find something a little bit more on the budget side, maybe you're just trying to stretch that dollar even further, I definitely recommend kind of like the other brother to the brand, which is a company known as General Tire. They have a brand called the General G-Max RS. If you're still looking for something that's a little ultra high performance summer, they do a really good job as well.
Also, they have a $100 rebate going on right now for General Tires, so make sure to check that out over at MartiniWorks. Always nice getting a rebate so you can get some money back after you purchase your tires. I had a set of General G-Max RS on my Supra, and they surprised me. We actually compared them back to back with like the ECS02, and I was really surprised. I went in with I never had Generals before it. A little bit more affordable, so I was like, okay, I know what to expect. I was dead wrong. They're actually really impressive, and the wet performance was really good on the Generals too, so take advantage of that rebate they got going on.
See you in a second.
Tell me about the Monterey takeovers.
Hey, yo.
Or
Wow.
I don't know what happened there.
So this is a thing that I can safely say
Okay.
I was not a
Can
part
you
of.
unsafely say?
Unsafely, I can say that.
What did you do out there?
No, it's not that. It's
Give
not
us the
that.
secret
Kinda
sauce.
weird.
No,
about it.
no. I like the Monterey Car Week has cars everywhere. People will say you don't have to go to any of the events to see the cars, and I think that's a great thing and a terrible thing at the same time.
Right.
You go downtown. I went with Diana and Becca, and we sat outside downtown after the reunion at Laguna Seca. We had a glass of wine. We just kind of unwinded before we went to dinner, right?
Actually, you
rewinded.
winded.
You
You winded.
I winded myself.
Yeah.
Anyway, and it was really nice. We're sitting there, we're having a drink, life is good, and like every third car is just something insane.
Oh, I bet.
Lincoln Continentals slammed on the ground, a lifted 991 Porsche, a minty Datsun, 510.
It sat there all day.
It literally, and then a Ferrari F40, and then randomly a 993, and it's just like cool car. And that's awesome. But what ends up happening is in the era of, I think, social media and how old I fucking sound right now, is there are people that go there to make like a social status statement. And then they use it to create content, to perceive themselves as being like a part of this higher echelon like group of people, right? So they go, they bring their Porsche, they make a bunch of noise, they do a bunch of burnouts, they do a bunch of dumb shit, and then they get the views on Instagram. And then what ends up happening is people then start to say, oh, well, Monterey Car Week's overrated because of everyone. And it's like, no, it's those people that are making a bunch of noise and doing the stuff that they're not supposed to do that's causing the issues. But like
any event.
Yeah, it's like any event.
So what
And
you're saying is it's not just specific to stance car shows.
No, absolutely
Crazy.
not.
Even the high-end shows.
Everyone does burnouts.
my most controversial take is that the crackle tune of BMWs at stance scenes are identical to the new Porsche GT3 RS owners with the titanium exhausts.
Wow,
Damn.
that is a hot take.
Different income category, same behavior.
Yeah.
Same behavior. They
Damn.
both do the same thing. Every time the light turns green, they rev it to piss hell. It's loud as shit. It's almost god awful too much, right?
Yep.
And then when they go to the stop, well, BMW 335, same exact thing.
Dude
Slightly
says it.
Different tax bracket.
Slightly different. They're wearing, instead of wearing a comfort colors, they're wearing a linen t-shirt top.
Okay, sure.
And instead of having no product in their hair, they have a small amount of Pompeii. And that's literally the difference between those two people.
Okay.
And maybe a tax bracket.
Alex has this, like,
two.
his Ferrari isn't the loudest goddamn thing in the world when his valves are open.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think there's, people say it's overrated. I think they're wrong. It's not overrated. It is perfectly rated. There's a lot of people. I think that's why the tickets are $1,600.
3,000 people.
Jesus.
Yeah, I would say if you go, I would say if you want to go and you want to not spend that amount of money, go to Laguna Seca. The stuff at the Laguna Seca, just the overall reunion was incredible.
Did you go to Laguna Seca?
Yeah, and it was insane. I mean, if you love racing, if you love just cars and maybe the prestige of like these one of one cars you maybe don't care about as much, bro, you could spend 2-3 days at Laguna Seca.
Yeah.
Easily. Because there you're meeting people like Scott Pruitt and Jensen Button who are just racing cars there and happen to be like multi-record winning race car drivers, and they're just like in their pits. They're just working on their cars. They're just doing stuff like that.
Was that your first time at Laguna?
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
Insane.
It's so cool.
It's a roller coaster.
Beautiful,
Amazing track.
It is.
Beautiful area.
It's like the roller coaster of love for grip cars.
Yeah.
It's like US Air California edition.
Giant.
And bigger.
It's just
Yeah.
in a mountain.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, me neither. Like, we went up there and we're like just going up and up, and I'm like, where the hell are we going? And then it's just like in a bowl. Like,
yeah, then
in
you
this
just
mountain.
drop down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's wild.
cool
And the
event.
corkscrew in person too is a lot bigger
Yeah.
and more intimidating
Yeah.
than like on a sim or in a picture.
a lot of walking.
Yeah, we got to do a ride along with Ford Performance.
Oh, God, whoa.
Yes, I
Went
did.
around Laguna
I
Seca?
went around it.
Oh my god.
So
I went around it.
you corkscrewed?
Yeah, and I told him to make a mistake.
I'm jealous.
Did he?
He did not make a mistake. I didn't realize how short the track is. Like in a full
It
sprint,
is quick
it's
track.
Yeah.
it's not super long.
Well, we're used to fucking Road America.
Yeah.
That's-
Goddamn highway. No, it was really cool. The corkscrew is a place where you don't quite get the gravity of the drop
Yeah,
until you see it with your eyeballs.
Like you go in blind, right? Like you're coming up that hill
Yeah,
and it just kind of appears and you do it.
Yeah, on the sim you're like, oh, this is not a big
Yeah.
deal, but like in real life, you're like, Jesus, like
Yeah.
even the walk. If you're down in the
it
pits,
sucks.
if you're down in the pits and you look up to where the corkscrew is, it looks like it's a mountain away.
Yeah, it kind of is.
And it makes
You climb. Yeah.
and it makes no sense. My brain couldn't quite grasp like
I-
this track at all. It was so weird.
I won't lie. It took us a couple breaks to get up there.
You know what was really fucked up about the whole thing? So we're like climbing the mountain to get to the corkscrew, and it's like desert. And I'd swear every 15 minutes or so, Joe's yell, "Snake!" And it would freak me the fuck out. Like I'm not even like inherently afraid of snakes. It just seems so plausible that a snake could be right there, and it would get my ass every time. I hated it.
I don't know why that was like. I've never done that before.
No.
I don't know why that trip in that area specifically. It just, I
Snake!
yell it.
I was so surprised because I kept asking the guy because we got chauffeured up. So take that as you will.
Pinky's out.
He didn't have to worry about the snakes.
But I asked the guy, he was very, very nice, very German. I was like, how often do like e-brakes fail on this hill?
Yeah.
Because everyone parks on it. And the incline or the decline of that hill is like, it's steep.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, happens from time to time. I tried really hard on that accent.
That's all good.
No, it was a really great event. We got to see all the different generations of Formula One. So that was kind of
Oh, that's neat, actually.
their special display. So we got to see everything from the Red Bull, I think it was the RB21 or 19. But we saw like they had Lando's actual McLaren out there. So like full running car. Zach Brown was out there. He was driving, I think, a Jag, an old vintage Jag. I got to see the Mazda 767B.
Wow.
I got to sit in the Mazda 767B, which was even cooler.
What didn't you get to do? You did.
I didn't put on
everything out there.
sunscreen.
Oh,
I did
that's
not put on
a big
sunscreen.
mistake.
Yeah, that was
Huge.
It can be kind of deceiving because sometimes you go out and it's like 70 degrees.
Right,
and
yeah.
it feels
It's not like
amazing,
inherently like hot because
but you burn up.
yeah.
I burned up all right.
I got a really important question for you though.
Oh, yeah?
How was the food?
Oof.
Like at the Quail. Like
Did you eat snails?
I feel like they got to have some crazy stuff.
So this is an embarrassing story.
Okay.
Oh no.
I like that.
So at the Quail, we got to meet up with Tom Christensen, who is like known as Mr. Le Mans. He is the most successful endurance race car driver of our time.
Wow.
He's an incredibly gifted driver. He is impeccable in his sport. And we got a chance to sit down and talk to him, have lunch with him, and then I had a one-on-one interview with him afterwards.
Nice.
And so after our group kind of session, we sat down and we had lunch. And so I went in and there was food. It was good. I wasn't really quite hungry because I was more nervous about talking to Tom because I really wanted to have like a good conversation with him, not a TikTok conversation with him.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a difference in how
100%.
you ask those
Yeah, 100%.
questions, you know? And so I grabbed some rice and there was like some sushi, which was decent. It was good. And then I got done and I went and I grabbed another plate and I was like, I'm just going to have a nice, easy plate. I'm sitting right next to Tom. Like he's at the head of the table. I'm right to the left of him. And so I'm like, I'm going to grab a little bit of the rice and chicken. And then, oh, this is really cool. It's like a chocolate cheesecake in like a little like cup, you know? And it was like a coffee cup. It looked like a little mini coffee cup. And I'm like,
Okay.
that's super cool. So maybe like there's some espresso in it or something. So I go and I take it, I put it on my plate, and I go and I sit down. And then I left because I needed to go check the batteries on the camera, make sure everything was good for my interview. Well, unfortunately, that wasn't actually a coffee cup. It was chocolate that looked like a coffee cup that was now getting heated up by my chicken and rice that I put on the same exact plate. And so when I go back and I sat down, Tom like looked at me and like the very first thing he said to just me was, "Do you usually eat your chicken with chocolate?" And I was like,
Yes.
I was like, no.
Yes, Tom.
Like,
Yes.
You got a problem with it?
I was like, no,
don't?
I don't. That was a mistake. That was a big boo-boo
Wait, so like the
mistake.
cup itself was chocolate?
Yeah, it was
Is
it
this
was
fucking Willy Wonka? The hell were you?
yeah, it was. I ate it.
You ate chocolate chicken?
I ate chocolate chicken. It was pretty good. It's pretty much mole, you know. It's just different.
So they had chicken and rice and chocolate. That's what they had out there.
And
to eat?
sushi. No, it's good. The whole thing, like anywhere you go, everything is free, which you'd hope for.
Yeah,
but it
well,
is
it's
free.
not.
You're paying.
The ice cream.
It ain't free.
That's such a Midwest answer.
I was almost paying for it. Such an old ass.
I did have like 5 cups of coffee though, and ice cream though. The first half of the day, I was so like high strung, just trying to get everything that I thought I needed to film because every corner I turned, there was something wildly different.
Yep.
But then like at about 2, I was like, maybe I should enjoy this event. And Becca was like, I've been telling you that this whole time.
Yeah.
So then we got coffee and we got ice cream and I walked around and we filmed some more stuff. And I took a picture of me jumping in front of an F50.
Nice.
Only to realize that the owner of the F50 was sitting right on the
Is that
corner
who was like
watching
looking at
me.
you in the
Yeah,
photo?
Yeah, and then he, at the end of it, he was like, that was a good jump. I'm like, thank you. I tried really hard. I'm sweating. He goes, good.
You ran away.
Yeah. Okay.
And we got to go.
Put chocolate on your chicken.
Did you go to the aquarium?
No.
Oh man.
Is there an aquarium?
The aquarium.
dude.
No,
The aquarium.
It's the craziest goddamn aquarium I've ever seen in my life.
I did not. We had a lot of fun casually just hanging out with who we were with. There was only a few people. I got to meet, actually, this is another really cool story. When I was a kid and I used to sell my RuneScape accounts for real life money,
That's illegal.
and my mom would randomly
I can't
get
believe you're admitting that.
Reported.
when my mom would randomly get deposits to her PayPal account for $180, which was a pretty good deal.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Rope your mom into this?
Yeah, but listen,
Jesus.
I was like 12,
Yeah.
11.
Mm-hmm.
I was making bank
Yeah,
back in the
reported.
day. Okay, I was making a good chunk. Monkfish, all-time high.
Don't even tell me about monkfish.
I know you know about monkfish.
Over 80,000 in my bank right now.
How much they selling for these days?
Not much. Everything's, I don't know. The market's going crazy. There was actually a recent thing where there's bots are unleashed right now, and like something broke, so the bot detection thing isn't working in RuneScape.
no.
So they're going fucking buck wild. So in turn, the market is crashing because there's bots doing everything and selling all of their stuff. So just everything's
overloaded.
So I don't think anything's worth anything.
Monkfish back in my day.
Yeah.
450. Shark 1.3.
Remember when granite malls were 150K?
Yeah.
Now they're like 5.
Back in my
DDS is 35. Anyway, so I used to sell them. I get $180.
Yep.
And then my mom would give me that. And I used to take $40 of it, and $20 of it I would spend on a movie, popcorn, and like a drink. And I'd always go to the one in Eau Claire, the one in the mall, because that one was way better than Micon at the time.
Yep.
And then the other $20 is when I would go, there was actually a bookstore. I don't want to say it was Amazon. It was a bookstore over by Best Buy across the street. And I'd go in and I would get a DuPont Registry magazine, like almost every month, because we went every month to this bookstore. And so I would get it, and I loved it. And I still have them. They're at my house somewhere. I must have like 30 or 40 of them.
Dang, okay.
Those are pretty cool.
But they always had like a thicker outer bound, so, and then on the inside, the stories were incredible. The pictures were beautiful. And I learned a lot about cars by reading the DuPont Registry. And when I was on this trip, I was making introductions to the team that was there. And so I got to meet a couple people. Some people were from Road and Track. Some people were from Car Buzz. And then I met this guy whose name was Charles. And I had asked him, I was like, so Charles, like, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I work for a magazine, a publication company. And I was like, oh, what is it? He's like, oh, I'm the editor-in-chief for DuPont Registry.
Oh, that's crazy.
And so his name is Charles, and I got to meet him. And oh, my God, he was such an incredible just wealth of knowledge. And he lives in southern Miami. And just all the things that he had to share and talk about were so cool. And so on Sunday when we went to Pebble Beach, we were kind of walking around and just trying to enjoy because we had been there since 6 a.m. I asked him, I was like, Charles, what do you know about these cars? And he's like, I don't know much. He's like, I don't know much about a lot of these cars. He goes, I know a little bit about the Formula One cars over there, but most of my experience isn't with these cars. And I was like, you want to go for a walk? And he's like, sure. I'm like, let's go for a walk. So Becca, Allison, and I think her name is Millie or Minnie, went with us. We went down to the Pebble Beach because it was like probably a 5-minute walk. Yeah. And then Charles and I walked from the very first Formula One car all the way through all the generations to the final Red Bull car that they had on display. And Charles knew more about those cars than I am convinced the collective internet knew about those cars.
Okay.
We stopped at every single one. He'd be like, well, actually, you see that side profile right there? Well, what happened there was Ayrton Senna was so upset at the Hungarian Grand Prix that he yelled at his chief engineer, blah, 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 blah. And so you'll see that side profile is different than that. That's because of that. And then in 1992, and we just kept going from car to car to car. And he would tell me all of this information.
Insane.
Just like this.
That's wild.
And it was all one story. Like, we must have walked for 80 minutes, 85 minutes. And the story never stopped. But the story was never boring. He knew so much about these cars. And it just like, it reminded me about how much pride I think publications like that and other car groups like that take to knowing these cars and these drivers and these people. Because even when we sat down and we talked with Tom Christensen, Charles knew him and he knew so much about him and even stuff outside of what normal questions would be, that the conversation when Charles would ask Tom a question felt so like old friend to old friend.
Yeah.
But it's not like they'd known each other.
Right,
it's not like
right.
they're best friends. It's just he knows so much about Tom's career. It was super insane. It was very like inspirational to see these people care about not just the car, but like the story of the car.
Right.
Because we tell a lot of stories, and we're on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, and he's in publication, he's in print, which is just a whole different world.
Yeah.
But you never really get to see that in our world. Stance cars aren't doing publications,
They should, though. I think that'd be so cool.
That would be sick, and the only publications that I feel like people really give a shit about are like when the annual Work or SSR magazine comes out. It's like, that's super cool, but that's not a publication.
Right.
That's just, here's the things we can sell this year.
I feel like
I think it was like
not many people get it.
Stance Nation was like, I feel like the closest to that for the longest time because they'd have like write up features on like people's builds and cars, and I always thought that was super cool. But ever since,
Prime Stance Nation went crazy.
it did. It was really cool.
Stance Nation was always so good. I think Dino will always be like the number one person I credit for me understanding the introduction of like stance car, like proper
100%.
stance culture was from Dino, because he still does it. Like his YouTube channel is one of my most favorite channels to watch because he's so good at just like casually explaining things. There's no, I'm almost envious because there's no over dramatization of like what he's doing, and content has gotten so over dramatized for the sake of getting a view, because like that's how it feels like you can only get a view. Then he'll come in and be like, so today I'm going to show you this private track in Japan that's multi-million dollars. Nobody's allowed here. So we're going to check it out. Come on. And then the camera's so casual about it. It's just like following him around. It's like, damn it, I want to make content like that, you know? But anyway, sorry.
No,
It was good. It was good. Monterey Car Week.
Checks out.
Checks out.
Would you go again?
Yes. Yeah. You have to kind of shed your preconceptions about it
I was gonna say
to enjoy it, because I think if you go in thinking that people are rich and have their nose in the air and they don't want to talk to you, you'll naturally find those people. I think if you go being a car enthusiast and you just want to talk cars, like I talked to some of the people that owned these cars in Pebble Beach that were $5, $10, $30 million. They did not care. They were just stoked to be there. They wanted to share their car story. They wanted to talk about their car. And some of them were so neat. You know, like they would explain like, okay, well, here's how you actually light the headlamp in this car. Like it's an actual
What the hell?
lamp system that you have to use charcoal and this and that. And then you
Got the damn Flintstones?
yeah, and they're like, well, I've got my other car here. They'll be like, yeah, let me show you my other car though, because it's the same car. It's just a couple years later, but this is how they started to do it. They used gas, and they used this line here, and this line went up, and it was pressurized, and it went into the headlamp, and then when you turned it on, that would then create this gas reaction, and that would cause your headlamp to turn on. He'd be like, do you want to see it? I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, it's going to take a few minutes. Is that all right? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, of course it is. Like,
minutes to turn the lights on.
it was
Christ
just,
almighty.
you know, these people, they love it. It was
$1
very
million
cool.
cars. Can't even turn the damn lights on.
A car that won that nobody would ever be able to know. I didn't even know this car existed. It's called a 1924 Hispano H6C, and I abbreviated all of it because there's like 10 other words that go along with it.
What year was it?
1924. And this guy drove it,
100 years old.
and it has mahogany planks that are bent to the chassis,
Mahogany.
and then 85 individual rivets to assemble the whole car, and then it's sanded down, and then it was cleared over. And I said, it kind of reminds me of your typical S chassis. And I said this out loud. Nobody knew what an S chassis was. And I immediately remembered that I was not in the presence of the tuning culture.
They're like, what?
This is wood car?
Wood car 1. Well,
It literally is wood car.
that car did not win, but yes, that is the car. And he won a Rolex too.
That car's insane.
You had to show up with wood car to win?
It was a pretty interesting
It's the
car.
Flintstone. Yabba dabba doo.
Is that the one you had to light the headlights on?
No.
Oh.
What I will
Lit them
say,
up, the whole car would start on fire.
that's dangerous.
this was the car that won.
Okay, let me see. Ooh, that is beautiful. Wow.
Wait,
Yeah, the orange on black is
That is
So they painted
gorgeous.
it a little bit?
mahogany on black, I should say. I'm sorry. It's a gorgeous car. It's a really pretty car. Becca called it because we saw all the cars coming in because we did Dawn Patrol, it's called. So we saw all the cars roll in, which was really cool experience. Sunrise coming up, gorgeous golf course, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it drove by, and Becca was like, that car is gorgeous. She's like, that car is going to win. And I'm like, oh, ha, ha, whatever. Bro, it fucking won. She called it in the beginning. I have the video at 6 o'clock in the morning when I'm recording every single car of her saying that car is going to win.
That's so
And we knew
funny.
nothing about
Dude,
this
it's
car.
so crazy. Like cars like that, you know, not only existed, but like still are around and like are driving and stuff like that. Because I remember we went to the Peterson Auto Museum and we got to go into like the vault. So like their like storage when they cycle cars out. And like it's kind of like their motor coach, I guess is what you would call like area. So it's like all the stuff from like the 1910s, 1920s, 1930s, like all like pre-war stuff, and where like you got like the Duesenbergs and like all of that stuff, where they're just huge, just massive vehicles and like that kind of style, and it's like, dude, I can't believe that those were just rolling around on the road back in the day, and like the amount of work and shit that had to go into those things, and like the size of the engines and stuff. Like they're like, I would relate those more to like a fucking like train than a vehicle, like because
they probably were taking off the inspiration of a train,
dude. It's
or carriage.
Insane.
Yeah, the cars are so cool, and I think it's a reminder as to how big this industry actually can be versus just like the space we play in.
Right.
Larry and I talked about how it was kind of interesting, you know, when does the era change over for the generation that's next, right? And what is the next generation? When does the ultra rare F50 GT1 turn into the R33 GT-LM, right? From Keep the Dreams Alive. When does the Lamborghini Countach turn into the E30 M3? You know, like it's that when does that start to happen?
I feel like it already has, honestly, with some of those cars, because you know, with like the 400R, for instance, was like such a big deal when, you know, a couple of those like got over here and like started like going to like shows and things like that, and like some of those like very, very limited vehicles have gotten around. I feel like it's kind of there, but it's not to the level that like something like that is.
It should be pretty interesting. I'd be excited to hear, if you're listening, your thoughts, whether you're listening on Spotify to drop a comment or YouTube to drop a comment. But we're going to take a small break, but not before talking about our next partner, the MartiniWorks Podcast, Dakota.
Fortune Auto. They make some fantastic coilovers.
Just.
And they're fully customizable. They're hand-built in the United States over in Virginia. Over by the Gears and Gasoline guys, actually. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch their road trip overseas, but that was really cool. So shout out to those guys. We got to hang out with the Gears and Gasoline guys a bit, and then we also hung out with Fortune Auto, and we've been there, and we've checked them out, and we've met the team, and it was just really cool to see the enthusiasts there. It's smaller than you think it is. I don't mean that in a bad way. It's tight-knit, and everyone there is passionate about what they do, and it was really cool to see them put the time and quality into the coilovers they're building. And whether you want to lower your car and have an aggressive ride height, or you're tracking it on the weekend, your auto crisis, or just daily driving, you can get a phenomenal coilover from Fortune Auto. So I would recommend Fortune Auto 500s for probably 90% of people, and then the other 10% are going to do 510s or something past that. But again, they have off-the-shelf stuff ready to go that we can ship you right away. Or if you want to dial it in, make it a bit more custom, we'd be happy to help you guys get what you need and upgrade them. And you can even upgrade them down the road. So head on over to MartiniWorks and take a peek at Fortune Auto coilovers. So what's next, Alex?
What
do we got coming up here?
In the next couple weeks?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, okay. So if you guys and gals don't know, we got a lot going on, and we've spent an atrocious amount of time working on it already, and hopefully you love it. Yeah, what you're hearing in the background is one such project.
Secret car.
Yeah, so we got
secret car.
Yeah, so we've got. Can they see secret car?
No.
Oh, thank God. We got a lot going on. So we're gonna be at Slam Enough. We're going to be at Slam Enough Gatlinburg or Sevierville. We're really excited for that. It's at the beginning of October. We are bringing a super special booth for this year that we're working on right now, that we've been working on for the past, I would say, month or two. So we're really excited for that. We're bringing a surprise car.
2 surprise cars.
We're bringing another surprise car. We're bringing 2 surprise cars.
Hopefully. Yeah. We don't have second surprise car yet.
He actually messaged me just now. I'm not even kidding.
Heard that before.
He's asking if I want to buy 2.
I promise you guys, you cannot comment and guess what this car is.
I
promise you can't. So go ahead, try. You're wrong.
Yeah.
Nobody knows that this car exists except for us.
1924
piece of wood with wheels.
So we've got that going on, and actually, one of the big things that we've been working on, I guess, as like a little side project, I've always wanted to do something special for the Gatlinburg vibes and just kind of like the energy and how it all feels while you're up there in the mountains. And I know I personally love waking up in the morning, sunrise, and just before starting the day having like a cup of coffee. So we're actually working with a local roaster here in Appleton and a company called Motivator, and we're bringing our own limited edition 2-roast style coffee to
super cool.
Gatlinburg.
Probably one of the coolest things we've ever done, to be honest with you.
I'm
And
not even like a coffee person. I think that shit's dope.
Yeah, I'm okay. And it's not like, oh, we just white label coffee and we're putting MartiniWorks on it to sell it. It's not like that. Like every single person here tried it, and like we've been having coffee, we've been fingers shaking.
Yeah, it's like, we need to try this one.
And like we've got to choose how it turned out, and I think it's like genuine. I'm not just saying this. I genuinely think it's super good coffee. Like I am ecstatic. I was nervous about the idea because when you mentioned it in the beginning, I didn't know how much say or how involved it would be, or if it would literally just kind of be like putting a label on it. But this coffee turned out amazing. Like I don't typically drink black coffee. This you could drink just straight if you wanted. It's that good. And the espresso was phenomenal.
Yeah, we're really excited. We have a caramel blend. Caramel because I wanted to do something that was, I love caramel blend, but also to kind of take after like a little bit of nod to like my old cat who's named Caramel. And then we did an espresso blend, which we kind of catered to both those that like a little bit of a darker roast, but also those that like espresso martinis. So I actually did try it into some espresso martinis. You know, you got to make sure it works, and it worked. It's really cool. We're gonna have a bunch of really great stuff at Sevierville.
The merch is looking fucking sick.
Yeah,
dude. I'm so hyped about this apparel this year.
Yeah, we got it's gonna be a cool one. We're really excited. We've been trying to put a ton of love into it because I think you guys and gals have given us a ton of love in the community, and so when we go to these things, we want to make sure it feels like we give a shit. And so yeah, we've got new merch dropping for the event. We've got coffee. We're gonna have coffee there. We're gonna have the sim rigs. We're bringing Mario Kart.
No, we're not bringing
the turf.
3 tons of fake grass.
Oh my god! It's cool while it's there, but it is the biggest nightmare.
Yeah, I don't think. I hope. I have a feeling other vendors are going to be doing grass this year, and I feel so bad for them.
Have fun with that. Well, okay. Here's the difference, though. They're going to get like the
they're going to get
carpeting,
the outdoor carpet,
like, super lightweight, clean. Doesn't make them. We had legitimate like college field turf.
This is literally what it.
It came from a college.
From Lawrence.
No, not Lawrence.
Lambeau Field.
No, that's real.
Oh. yeah, that's true. It is actual grass.
Concordia
it's not turf
or something.
At Lambeau Field.
Concordia,
It was Concordia University. They're like, I still don't know if they're looking for that.
If you look close, you can see the stripes from the field. We had to paint over them.
Paint the stripes, because they literally ripped it off.
There's so much rubber pellets and sand in that shit that I had no idea. You move it, and you have a sand plate place laying there afterwards.
Yeah.
We've got a lot going on. We're not bringing the turf. I tried to initially bring portions of the turf, and I'm pretty sure I almost got left outside.
You're gonna break one of our backs.
Yeah. So we're not doing that. But we do have some we got some really cool stuff. We got some custom tables getting made.
Yes.
They're actually literally getting worked on right now.
They're turning out good.
So yeah, we're really excited. We got that going on. We've got some new stuff going on to the website in September as well. If you guys and gals don't know, we've been kind of quiet on the build thread front lately. We haven't talked about it too much. We've been dropping some awesome cars that have been adding their stuff to the carousels or the build threads. We saw some wagons get added.
Lots of wagons.
So cool.
Yeah, we posted that on Instagram. You guys loved it. And we wanted to let you know that probably by the time this video is going live, we're just about on the teetering point of updating the entire thing.
Yep.
We have a whole new build thread adding process to make it easier on you guys and gals to add your cars. We're going to have new filters on the build thread page so you can search easier what you can sort by, vehicle types, wheels, things like that. And then we're really putting a little bit more pressure on those that are adding their cars to the build threads to tell us more. We want to know more about your story.
Yeah, please add more photos for Pete's sake.
Yeah, tell me about your car. Like, some of you guys got really cool cars. You're like, yeah, it's too much stuff to mention. No, mention it.
I
want to know.
Point.
Like, and tell me about it.
If you guys haven't added your car to the build threads, this is going to be the perfect time as we kind of relaunch the build threads and add it. But we go through every single one of those and we check them out, we read them, and then we share those stories for you guys. We'll tag you. We can invite you to collaborate on the post. If you want to be on our feed, that's the best way to possibly do it. So spend some time on it. You don't have to whip through it in 2 seconds. No. If it takes you a day or two.
It saves your progress, too.
Or if it takes you 15 minutes, go through it and write the story, get some good photos. We all got iPhones now. You can take a decent couple of photos of your car. You know, it's your pride and joy. So make it look nice, because I promise you it's not getting uploaded and forgotten about. We actually go through those. We check them out every single day.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm really excited for it because I think that was one thing when we started this we really wanted to have is, see other people's builds, share other people's stories because, the cars are dope. But like the stories, there's always a story behind a car.
Mm-hmm. Not enough places connect the people with the cars. No. You always see images of cars, dope cars, but what about the person behind it? Exactly. I think that's what's been so cool too. Recently, we've gone to a lot of events and we've got to share stories with people. We bring them on, we interview them. Sure, they might be a little camera shy at first or they're a little nervous, but we've heard such cool stories and got to know people. And dude, you always are able to kind of crack the code and get people to lighten up once they can start talking about their car, and that's the best.
My favorite thing is that, like, we went to Final Bout this last weekend, and we were walking around kind of like before everything started, and they had like a show area, like outside of like where all the vendors and stuff were, and it's like Final Bout, obviously a huge drift event, but there was this fucking like Scion XB, and it's like, I was like, Dakota, we gotta film with this guy because like he rolled up, he immediately popped the back of this XB open, pulled out a freaking lawn chair and just started playing video games. And I'm like, there's something up with that thing. And dude, the biggest Scion XB fan I think we've ever met. Yeah. Such a cool guy. He was telling us everything. He's like, these seats were only available in the Japanese version, and I can't believe I got them because he's showing us like they slide forward. The US ones didn't do that. It had like some body kit on it. It was bag. He had like an insane air setup on it.
SSRs.
It's like, that shit, I just loved it because I'm so cool. It's an XB. But it was such a cool XB, and it's like the story behind it and why he appreciated
how passionate he was about it.
And why he was so passionate about it, I thought was so cool. And like, so it's like go to Final Bout. Oh yeah, we did a video on an XB at Final Bout. It's like, but it's fucking,
but it's cool. That's the cool part about a lot of stuff that's coming up, and we really enjoy Gatlinburg or Sevierville for us because it's like it's kind of like the end of our typical season, because then after that we have SEMA and we have PRI and we've got some other stuff, and there's stuff that happens on the West Coast like every other weekend, so please don't get upset when we say that, but like for us we kind of treat this as that, like,
this is like our final hurrah of the year of
I'll see you when I see you.
Yeah,
it's kind of like one of those, it's like where the movie ends and they like nod to each other and like walk in separate ways. Like,
is there going to be a sequel?
Yeah, is there going to be? That's us as we get into the next few weeks. So
and we start cooking.
And we start cooking up. We got more stuff to do, but we're really excited. It's been fantastic to have your guys and gals' support. Thank you so much for picking up a car part from MartiniWorks. If you have, and if you haven't, and you want to support, subscribe is always a great way to do that. Leaving a 5-star on the podcast is an awesome way to do that. And honestly, once we get this coffee up and rocking, that's going to be a really awesome way to support as well. Because if you love coffee, maybe you like cars, but you don't need car parts, you just enjoy listening in, maybe you can do it with a cup of coffee
in the podcast. Perfect match.
So as soon as we get ready, we should, fingers crossed, next week we will be able to see our bags all bags. Damn it. We'll see our roast go into our bags, and I'm very, very excited to see that process, and then it's done.
We should put a little label on the bottom of it, like coffee bags. It's like BAY.
Damn it. We approved the design already. Damn it.
Maybe it can be the title of it on the website or something.
Yeah, there we go.
MartiniWorks coffee bag.
Why do they call it a cup of Joe?
I don't.
Right.
Because of Joe Coffee, the creator and founder of coffee.
Sorry.
Why do they call it?
I don't know. I took a guess. I got to be pretty dang close though.
The phrase "cup of Joe" most likely refers to the average man, as Joe was a common nickname for an everyday person, or it comes from a combination of coffee-related terms like Java and Mocha that became shortened to Joe. Other popular theories suggest that the name came from Josephus Daniels, a U.S. Navy secretary who banned alcohol on ships, or from the Joe Martinson Coffee Company.
That sounds like an AI response.
I liked my response more.
It was.
I want to hear your responses. Let me know what a cup of Joe means.
What do I think a cup of Joe means? I honestly think a cup of Joe was from some random ass person in the South probably that had really great influence and just had the nickname for coffee, and then it just stuck.
Maybe if we sell enough coffee bags, we can get you a new mic stand so you can quit fucking with it the whole entire podcast.
Every single video I do on my own channel, I get this goddamn thing. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And the amount of comments where people are like, just tighten the microphone. Stop
It is
touching."
tightened.
But I do, and it just it does it. I'm sorry. I notice it because I can hear myself, and I'm like, why am I getting further? And then I have to lift it again. So I'm sorry. I appreciate you guys.
Yep.
We'll
Sorry
talk
for
to you.
derailing it. Have a good week, guys.
We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.